All right, so I think this bears some looking at. The Academy Awards, after all, are this weekend. So let's talk about this sometimes too close for comfort relationship between Hollywood and the Pentagon. You know, on one hand, it's important. Of course, Hollywood directors want to get the most accurate information, so they consult the Pentagon. But the bottom line is sometimes there's a trade-off. Sometimes that means the Pentagon says, sure, we'll not only give you advice and consult you, we'll give you our men, our actual men, we'll give you our actual weapons, but you need to give us your script so we can make sure it's accurate. Things are taken out of that script at times, too. So I want to talk to Keith Harmon Snow. He's a war correspondent, and he is in Williamsburg, Massachusetts. Keith, talk to me a little bit about this. Do you think there's a direct correlation between movies like this, Act of Valor, and military recruitment?
Absolutely. First of all, you've got, in the movie Act of Valor, or in the production of it, they're saying that this represents the dynamics that exist in the world today. But the truth is it has nothing to do with the world today. Look in America. We've got poverty, hopelessness, destitution, kids who don't know what they're going to do for their future. They have no opportunity for anything, poor people, even middle class, and they can't see any hope in the world. What do? They watch some film like this, and they're recruited. They're promised massive pay benefits. They're promised an adventure. They see these ideas of courage and honor and valor, which are not anything like the reality. And as one of your spokesmen already said, they come back from having killed people, seen things, these atrocities. They're incredibly traumatized. And what do? They're committing suicides like crazy because suddenly they're faced with the reality of A, what they left behind, and B, what they really did. This recruitment, this isn't about Hollywood. This is the Pentagon. This isn't a Hollywood film. This is a Pentagon propaganda.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, what do you think about this? I think a lot of people would be surprised to find out about this sort of I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine mentality going on here. I mean, we've got the Pentagon, which, by the way, is funded by our tax dollars, allowing movie studios to use military hardware and bases at a discounted rate. And in return, these filmmakers submit their scripts for input, and changes are made. I mean, there's a strong belief by critics that, you know, some edits are actually taken out if there's anything critical of military policy. What do you think about that? I mean, how often does this occur? Well,
I think seeing this as a Hollywood operation with a little bit of Pentagon support or some scratching the back, I think we have to look at it as a psychological operation against the American public. That means this is not Hollywood. It's total propaganda by and for the Pentagon, using Hollywood as the face. And then they say, well, okay, well, yeah, the Pentagon does work a little with Hollywood, and we've, you know, but this is the Pentagon. These are real live Navy SEALs. What's outrageous is you go to the website for this film, and there's a section where you can donate to support the Navy SEAL Foundation, to support naval warfare. I mean, why are they asking the American public, or whoever watches this film, to give a $20 or $50 or $5,000 donation to support naval warfare? I mean, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars of taxpayers' money being used for this production, including this kind of thing, where they send these Navy SEALs off to commit atrocities. But there's nothing honorable.
On the other hand, Keith, and I'm sure people who are watching this are at least thinking, you know, this is a movie, this is Hollywood. As one of the person in the story, one of the people interviewed in the story said, you know, the reality is, you know, you're walking in circles. You're doing foot patrols, you're scared for your life. But they're not going to make a movie about that. Movies need jazzing up. They need heroes and they need villains. So, I mean, should Hollywood be faulted for that?
Well, no. If people want to find different ways to avoid reality, the reality of the suffering in the world, the reality of our perpetuation and creation of terrorism at this very moment, all over the world. For example, the United States covert operations, Navy SEALs and 10th Mountain Division forces were involved in the massive atrocities that were committed in eastern Congo in 1996. No one knows anything about this. But they're not going to show us American soldiers slaughtering innocent women and children, which is what happened. Thousands and thousands of innocent women and children in September, October of 1996. We're never going to see that. What we see is this Hollywood nonsense. And as I say, it's Pentagon nonsense. And these guys don't operate by day. They never operate by day. In the film, they couldn't make the film because it's all at night. Everything they do at night. And I got this from a 10th Mountain Division operative directly. So it's total propaganda. And people, as I say, I mean, what do we have for people to use to avoid reality and become a more immature, psychologically disturbed, pathologically insane society, which we have? And that would be alcohol, drugs, which the CIA brings in. I mean, the CIA in the film is portrayed as these victims. They're not victims. They're perpetrators of terror. So we've got alcohol, drugs, propaganda, and entertainment. Those are four of the big ones.
Yeah, certainly some interesting points, and I think it's just, it bears bringing to light, because I think that this is a relationship a lot of people have no idea actually exists. War correspondent Keith Harmon Snow, thanks so much.
Peace.